This isn't really a story like in this one like time frame. This is like a general theme of my life, really. I feel like I was born like this mule, but I was like bred to be a racehorse, and every day I'm just like, what am I doing? My name's Cindy Zhou, I'm 22, and I'm currently an assistant project manager at Adidas in Portland, Oregon. I also skateboard. I also am a digital content producer at a longboard magazine called Skate Slate, and I just ride skateboards for different companies. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So it all started when I was 15. I learned how to snowboard that winter, and I fell in love with it. I really wanted something that was the summer equivalent of it, and I kind of saw a video on YouTube of somebody longboarding, and I thought, this is perfect. I gotta get one of these. So I got one for my 16th birthday, and it kind of became my new mode of transportation in Toronto. The longboarding scene in Toronto is actually really big in comparison to a lot of other cities in the world. There's a couple of shops in town that are really supportive of community events, and so in the summer there are a ton of events that happen, from slide jams to races to just community pushes. In September, there's actually a huge event that happens called Board Meeting, where 1,000 of the city's skateboarders kind of meet up at Yonge and St. Clair, and we take over the streets of Toronto for an hour or two, and it's like the best event in the world. My family didn't really mind for the most part because it started off as a mode of transportation, and before I longboarded as a mode of transportation, I was rollerblading everywhere, super cool. So they didn't really mind, and it wasn't maybe till a year after I'd started commuting that I kind of got more into it from a trick and skilled perspective. I never felt a struggle in terms of not being accepted. There's such an accepting community. There's never a struggle there. I think maybe, if anything, the biggest struggle was like finding other girls to skate with. They just don't exist. At least when I started, they didn't really exist, or at least I didn't know about them. So I guess it was just not having exposure. Never saw like being in a sport as a female like something that was detrimental, just because I was female. It was just, working with what you have and not seeing it as a disadvantage in any ways. I guess in the world of longboarding, my biggest accomplishment would be just how much I've been able to travel and how many people I've been able to meet and then kind of connect with throughout the world. I personally don't see it as a career. It's funny, I see longboarding for me as a platform to grow professionally and personally. Like, I think one thing sports does is teach you all these life lessons. Really with longboarding, you learned how to get to fall and get back up again. But then you also learned, at least for me, I love the media aspect of it, so it became a platform for me. I think our generation is so competitive. Like, we're all go-getters, we're like, I think that's a huge misconception, us being lazy. Never before has getting into university been harder. Never before has getting a job been harder. Like, the amount of people who are willing to work for free in internships is crazy. So it's like, when people say we're lazy and when they say that millennials have nothing to offer, it's like, no, as a generation, we have never put ourselves more out there. I'd say as long as you get lost in whatever you love, like, things usually tend to work out. Again, if you can see your situation as an outsider and see it as someone who might be an employer or someone who might be another fellow professional, you'll know what to do with your passion. You'll know how to leverage your passion in ways that'll help you get to where you want to be. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to who you are, like, do you. And there's so many things you can do in this world, and school is only going to show you a sliver of what you can do in the world.